Let me see if we got a 3D model I can just drop in here real quick. Let's get a 3D model. So let's throw this 3D model here, and then let's throw this woman here. Right. So we're gonna have two figures. Hello. We're gonna have two figures, so I can show you what I'm talking about. So let's lower the opacity with them. Right. And let's say if you were gonna draw a shirt on said character, right? Hold on, you know what? Let me change the music for this because um let me change the music for this because I can actually clip this and put it on YouTube. Cause YouTube be like, YouTube, man, listen, I'll tell you no lie, bro. They were talking about some, if you don't post no more videos, we're gonna take you off the partnership. I was like, bro. But here we go. So for those who want to do wrinkles, right? I just threw two 3D files, a man body type and a male body type and a female body type. You feel me? So let's say if we want to give them shirts and pants, right? When you do wrinkles, you want to know where a wrinkle should be. So your wrinkles should be here, definitely on the chest area. And then like if you have like the shirt bunch up, it needs to bunch up in this area, right? If you have longer sleeves, it has to bunch up here, bunch up here, bunch up here, bunch up here. You know what I'm saying? Just anywhere where it folds, where you fold the arm needs to be bunched up. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna just draw a random shirt. So you know, you make your little shirt and you find out the cut that you want. I kind of want to give her something that's like over here, right? So what you want to do is you want to draw your lady bitties, right? And then when you draw them, just know that your boobs, like if you draw women's boobs through a shirt, you're not going to see the definition of her titties. You're just not going to do it. It's not going to work that way. So what you want to do is you want to just swipe it over like so. You know? Because you're not going to see the definition of her lady friends. You feel me? On the sides though, you definitely are. So you can actually add, you know, you can definitely add some wrinkles along that area because this is the area where it kind of like is going to show. And then like up here on the top part of her breast, you want to go up like this, and then you just want to bunch it with some lines because that is how the form-fitting shirt is going to lay. So you come down, right? So you come down and then you have the waist part, and in the waist part you just bunch that up in this type of way, you know, and that's gonna give you, okay, that's her waist. And then you come down some more and then you bunch that up for her hips, you know. So if I were to lower the opacity, you can see how that shirt is coming along, you know. So you make the collar. The collar is also bunched, you know. The collar is also bunched, and you come around her shoulders. Now her shoulders will also have some type of bunching, and that's just because how the shoulders are. They kind of like reflect off of the bunching that happens underneath the armpit. So you just draw a little bit of bunching and have it go that way before it comes downward like so. Now on the arm part, if you were to make a longer shirt, you will have bunching coming down the bicep because the bicep loves to, you know, show itself off. I don't know why, but it does. And that happens on both areas. So, you know, come out this way also. Because, you know, the boob will hang a little bit next to the arm. So it'll just be like, hey, you know. So then you come down. And now we're at the elbow. And that's where, like, a lot of your bunching is going to happen. You know, like a nice bit of bunching. And that's just because this is the area where it's going to bend the most. And it just happens that way. So you just bring this down, you bunch that up a little. If you want to, if you don't want to, that's totally fine. You can make it a little bit of a bunch, right? And then the same thing for the other arm. The other arm, whatever you do to the right arm, you do to the left arm. That's what a lot of teachers like to say. So I'm gonna just do one of these. So that you don't have to see me do that all over again, right? Right? So whatever you do to the left arm, please do to the right arm, or forever hold your peace. So that's how a shirt on a woman would, you know, on a female, you know, anatomy, how it would look. You know, like, just make sure you don't define the boobs way too much, because your shading is gonna help with that. You know, and then shading is mostly just focusing mostly on, like, okay, so let's say if I wanted to shade her her situation, I will shade all this, like, you know, in this type of way, and then I would shade this part here, and that will give it more definition to her, you know, to her actual bosoms, you know what I'm saying? So that's only after you do the line art and all that good stuff. Male anatomy. So with male anatomy, I like to do a little bit more extra than normal. So, you know, of course you want to do your little sides, you know, like so, right? Because this is all gonna look something like this. It's not gonna be defining his abs or none of that. That's not happening. But what's gonna end up happening is you do have to come down around the bicep area and just like swoop it. And then on the top part, like over here on the chest part, that will also have like some type of, you know, situation. Now when it comes down to the crease area, you want to come all the way down like so, and then you just want to like V it outwards on this side. Because what's gonna happen is when you do like the whole shirt area, we're gonna have the same shirt for them because why not? When you do this whole shirt area, you know, you don't want it to look weird. You want to make sure that it connects with each other, you know. Whatever you do to the right arm, you do to the left arm. So we're just gonna go ahead and grab that, and we're gonna copy and paste, because you know, put in this place. Hey, digital art. Digital art is really cool because you don't have to like worry about this traditionally. But you know, it is cool. See? So it looks something like that. You know what I'm saying? And then when you do your shading is just gonna focus on this type of area here. So like you'll basically be focused. All this will be your shading, and then you can go into detail, and that will happen on both sides too. It won't just happen on one side, you know. And it depends on the light source too. So I'm not gonna focus on shading because it's all about light source, your ambient light, and how that would you know, give you a little bit more of that 2D action in your drawing, so it doesn't look stiff, you feel me, or it doesn't look flat, right? Guys do have this thing. I don't know what the hell you call this, but it's the neck. They have this neck thing going. So like usually what happens is you make the collar, right? So you make the collar, and then it comes down, and then you have a crease in that area, and that crease kind of follows the what do you call this? The collarbone, right? And then you make your little wigglies here for the cut of the shirt, like where it's where it meets. Your arm meets your chest. You feel me? So that's how it kind of works. That's how I do it with the when I draw male anatomy with shirts. This whole neck piece that they got going, and the collarbone is always kind of thick for some odd reason. Doesn't matter how thick these men are, but if they're fit or they're thick or whatever, they're gonna have that really deep collarbone definition, and that does show up in how the shirt like lays on the body. You feel me? There's some people that have it even thicker than what, like right now, this male anatomy has it very, very simplistic, right? But then when you like go to one of my characters that I have, for example, let me go get an image. I'm so sorry, guys. Usually I have this on deck, but yeah, no. Don't have it on deck. Yeah, right. Digital is a lot more quicker because you just copy paste and just. But if you need to learn how to draw, specific things, please take the time out to draw. Like sometimes. Well, a lot of the times when I do draw like clothing and stuff like that, I do not copy and paste because I know for a fact that's gonna look off for me, just personally for me. See, my character, if I can find one with just a regular schmegler shirt, but honestly, I cannot find a character with a schmegler shirt on. I just want a schmegler shirt, bro. You're just not wearing just a regular getup, bro? No? Okay. Okay. Let me see something here. Hey, thank you so much for the hydration. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Okay, I have no clue where any of my stuff is at. I'm trying to see if I can find one of my characters, and I cannot find one that I have drawn that has the crease on it. Nah, he doesn't have the crease on it. Because I'm looking for... Okay, so with the male anatomy, there are different type of flavors. You have your very slender flavor. You have your slender flavor, right? You got your slender. Then you got your, like... You got your regular schmegler buff dude. You feel me? Then after your, your buff dude, you can have somebody even thicker in caliber. So like he can get even bigger than this. He doesn't necessarily have to be that big, but he can even get bigger than this. But it's the whole shoulder situation. Like this part right here, it can get bigger depending on the person. So if your character is a very slender character, that top piece will not. It'll be there. Like you can see this top piece is there, like this is there, but it's not gonna be as as chunky as our thicker man here. You know what I'm saying? Like his kind of comes out a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? Or somebody who's built, if he's really built, his will come out a little bit more than that. You know what I'm saying? And that's that whole triangle situation I'm trying to talk about, like that thing, because like them traps, yes, them traps, you already know them traps. So with the female anatomy, what ends up with that is she would have more of a slender look to her neckline. Sure, there are women that it doesn't look that slender, because I am one of those type of women, but you'll still have that slender look, like regardless if her shoulders were thick. See, so like you see how her shoulders is bigger than her shoulders, despite the fact that the shoulders are thicker, her neckline will still be, you know, it will form it really elegantly and make it very, you know, soft, rather than having it chunky like a, you know, like the male anatomy, like having that chunky look that's connected to that collarbone. You know, sometimes women don't even have a collarbone. You know what I'm saying? Look at my chest. I ain't got no collarbone. I don't know where they at, okay? So, you know, like, you know, you just got to think about those things. And when you draw your character in the nude, before putting clothes on it, you can think of these little things to help with when you put the clothes on her or on them. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I know it sounds funny, but it's the truth, you know. And that's all based on male and female anatomy. You know what I'm saying? If you decide to do any body fluid or anything of that nature, you could, you know, definitely mix and match the way that you think it represents correctly. I will just say research before doing anything, because you don't want to offend nobody. And that's what I'm going to say there and end it. Because you just never know, man. You just never know. So research.